God, I read 16 books in the month of May. Okay, she's a scholar. Besties of mine, before we start this video, let me tell you about today's sponsor, which is BetterHelp, one of my favorite sponsors of all time. You guys know I talk about this nonstop, but I'm not gonna shut up. You must listen. So I have been having a very rough go of it, if you could say, okay? Haven't been having the best time with life, and if I didn't have therapy, I don't know where I would be today. So that is why I'm so passionate about this subject, and that is why I will constantly talk about mental health with you guys, because I want you to be doing well. I want you to be here. I want you to just live the best life that you can possibly live, okay? And BetterHelp can help with that. Get it? BetterHelp. Yeah. Okay. I've told you guys this story before, but essentially I was diagnosed with depression and OCD and anxiety and the whole shebang. Okay. We love that combination. What a triple threat I am. Anyway, I originally started therapy with BetterHelp, and that is what led to the psychiatrist I have now. That is what led to the help that I'm able to get today. It is all because of BetterHelp. I could not have done it without them. Literally, they're so easy and so convenient, and that is why I think it's so helpful, because all I had to do was just log into my little computer and I was matched with a therapist within like 48 hours. And if you don't like that therapist, you can always switch around until you find your perfect fit, because not everybody's gonna fit together, you know? I think I went through like 2 or 3 before I found the one that really, really worked for me. So don't be scared to do that. And you can always do it from your phone or from your computer. You can do it through calls, or you can do it through video chats. You can do whatever you feel comfortable with, which again is my favorite part. So usually you will be matched with a therapist within the 48 hours. Like I said, you can do messaging or you can do video calls. You can shop around and see what therapist works for you, and you can get the help you need, because like I said, I want you to be doing well. You are my main priority. Just like me and you, we're best friends. You worry about me, I worry about you, okay? So if you'd like to get the help that you so deserve, you can click the link in my description and use BetterHelp. Again, thank you so much, BetterHelp, for sponsoring today's video. Hello, my shawty baes. Hello, my besties. It is that time of the month again where we do our wrap up. I'm going to tell you exactly what I read in the month of May, how I read it, if it was audiobook, Kindle, paperback, what have you, what I rated it, my thoughts, and a little bit about each book with no spoilers, of course. Now listen, I am a little bit late. Let me explain myself. The funniest thing happened to me. And by funny, I mean tragic, not funny at all, okay? I went with my suitcase and like brought all the books ready to film everything to Florida, and then I ended up not filming there because I took some time off. And then when I came back, I was like, oh my God, I'll just film as soon as I arrive back home. Guess what? Suitcase nowhere to be found. American Airlines sent it elsewhere. Not with me. I was on the plane, but my suitcase was not. So it took forever for my books to get back to me. And by forever, I mean honestly not really that long. But that's why I'm late. You get me? You picking up what I'm putting down? You dig? Okay, anyway, we're gonna do our wrap up. I don't even know how many books I read in May. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh my God, I read 16 books in the month of May. Okay, she's a scholar. She's intelligent. Would you look at that? I'm gonna be telling you about them. I'm not gonna lie. I did forget about some, but we're gonna go through this together. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. A lot of these are in videos, so I'm gonna start off with the ones that are literally in the last video I posted, which is the thrillers, okay? I just posted a thriller reading vlog if you wanna know exactly my thoughts as I was going through these books and every single detail with no spoilers. You can watch that video, but here are the books I read in that video, okay? I read only thrillers for a week. My mind was literally just on crime, okay? Because I read these and I also binge watched Criminal Minds. Like I, in 1 week, watched 3 seasons of Criminal Minds. Is that impressive or is that weird? You let me know. I think it's impressive. I'm gonna go ahead and vote on impressive, but you know, others might think that's weird. Anyway, I was like turning around and thinking that someone was gonna catch me at all times of the day because I was just knee deep in crime. That sounds weird. Let me not say that. Anyway, here are the books I read, okay? First up, we've got Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I think this is like my 4th book by Riley Sager, 3rd book. I don't really know. I've read quite a bit by him, and every single time his books feel like a movie inside my head. So I really do enjoy his writing. I feel like out of thriller authors, his writing is one of my favorites. And this book essentially follows Jules, and she is needing some money, needing a place to live, and she sees this ad for her to babysit an apartment. That's not what it's called. What is that thing called when you live in a house and you're sitting in the house? No, you're not sitting in the house. You're taking care of the house while the person's away. Babysitting a house. taking care of the house. Apartment sitting. She goes to apartment sit at this place called the Bartholomew, which in New York, it's like the most nice and like talked about place, but nobody knows what goes on in there. It's just like super rich people living there and nobody knows the tea, okay? So she gets a job working there. They're gonna pay her to live in this incredibly nice apartment. And then one of the other apartment sitters goes missing and Jules starts to kind of investigate what happened. I ended up rating this one 3 stars. I did really like Jules. I did cheer for like the characters and I enjoyed the dynamic, but the ending just wasn't that impressive to me. Me with thrillers, it's like if it doesn't have a twist that really blows my mind, I'm not that invested. So I feel like I'm just not the best person to give you some thriller advice because if it doesn't have a good twist, I'm probably not gonna enjoy it. So that was what happened with this. I did love the writing, like I said, I did love the characters and I did love like the journey it took me in. It was just that the ending really didn't live up to what I was thinking. So 3 stars. I liked it, but I didn't love it. That leads us to Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. This is my first book by B.A. Paris and it will be my last because I hated it. Listen. It follows this couple. I don't even remember their names. Grace? Yeah, Grace and Jack, okay? And it's this couple that looks perfect from the outside, but then behind closed doors, obviously shit's going on, right? It tells you that in the back. And then you think, oh my God, there's gonna be so much more once you read the book. No, that's it. No, like that's it. It just tells you that story and that's it. I kept expecting something to happen and nothing happened. I will say the guy really like creeped me out. Like the story did kind of get me in a way because some parts are really creepy, but it just didn't. That's the best way I can explain. It just didn't. Behind closed doors, turns out nothing's there. You knock, you open the door, empty. But I did get creeped out in some moments and I did love the ending. That was one thing that I enjoyed. I feel like the ending was very well done. It was a bit rushed with how much they set it up, but regardless, I feel like it was a perfect ending in my opinion. So I ended up rating it 2.5. It wasn't like the worst book in the world, but it also wasn't the best. I wouldn't recommend, but if you want, you go ahead. I rated it 2.5 stars. By the way, both of these I read on my Kindle, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Kindle/paperback with these two. And then this next one I listened to, which is The Last Word by Taylor Adams. Taylor Adams, I feel like has really good audiobooks. I listened to No Exit by her last year, so I listened to The Last Word now. This is a really funny story. Are you ready? This follows this girly and she's like in the middle of nowhere living her best life and she's reading books nonstop, okay? She's just like us for real. And then she reads this book, this thriller book that's like really bad. She absolutely hates it, so she rates it 1 star. And then the author of that book starts coming after her. Imagine if that were to happen in real life. Like I would be so beyond dead. I would be dead in the ditch somewhere because the amount of authors that would come after me. With that being said, Taylor Adams, don't come after me because I didn't like this. I didn't hate it to the point that it's 1 star. I didn't do that. But I also didn't like it. It was kind of the same as Behind Closed Doors where I rated it 2.5. I feel like all the suspense was in the beginning of this book. Like the very beginning was just suspense. Like I was so excited. I was so invested in the story. And then as the book went on, it just kind of died down. I even sped up the audiobook just trying to finish because I didn't even really care anymore. The only part of this book I cared about was the dog. That's all I was focused on. That's a problem. You know what I mean? If I care more about the dog than the people in the book, what the fuck? The ending was fun. I feel like it was a good ending, but I wasn't invested. I wasn't emotional. I feel like everything just happened in the beginning and then the rest, Taylor Adams just, you know what I mean? But Taylor Adams, if you're watching this, I loved it. I didn't rate it 2.5 stars. Not me, not I. I loved your book 5 stars. But if Taylor Adams is not watching this, 2.5 stars, I didn't like it. But the audiobook was fun. Next thriller was What Lies Between Us by John Mars. This has been so highly recommended in the thriller community. I feel like everybody that has read it has absolutely loved it, except for me. This follows Maggie and Nina, and it goes between like past, present, and both of their POVs, which I feel like was really intriguing. I was always interested in what was going on. And essentially they both live in this house and one of them is locked away and the other one just kind of rules everything. That is the best way I can explain it. There's not really another way to explain that. But you start to wonder what happened and you start to see it in the past and in the present and all the shenanigans. The ending was so confusing to me. I don't know what happened in the ending. Like I had more questions by the end of the book than I did answers, which I don't like. I don't like endings that leave me wanting more, especially with thrillers, because it's just not worth it. I want everything. Give me all of it. You know what I mean? And I didn't like any of the characters. They all, in fact, pissed me off. Every single fucking one. And I guessed the twist right in the beginning, which again is not my favorite thing. I did rate it 2 stars. Again, it was not one of those that I was like, oh my God, DNF, 1 star, never look at this book again. But it definitely wasn't a book that I liked. It wasn't even a book that I semi-liked, that I enjoyed, that I had fun. No, I had no fun. I had no fun at all. I did read this paperback or Kindle. something like that. And the last book in the thriller video is really what saved it. It is Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I've heard everyone and their mothers and their dogs and their cats talk about this book, okay? Literally, it's apparently like the most gory thing ever. There's so much detail. So of course, I was like, I must pick it up. I must pick it up immediately. I read this paperback and audiobook because when I wasn't reading the paperback, when I was like doing chores and stuff, I wanted to listen to it. That's how you know I enjoyed it. This one follows Claire and Lydia, and they are sisters, and they haven't spoken in a decade because their other sister went missing many years ago, a decade ago, literally, I just told you, and they haven't spoken or gotten along since. And now one of their husbands tragically passes away, and they come back together to kind of try to figure out what happened to him, what happened to her sister, and everything starts unfolding, right? That is literally what it says in the back. Don't you worry, I didn't spoil anything. What I really enjoyed about this is not only does it have so much detail, but also you really get to know like flawed characters in a way, and you get to cheer for them. And also you get like journal entries in a way, diary kind of vibes, which I really enjoyed. This book basically taught me that men should start their lives in jail and earn their way out. That's how disgusting it was, okay? Search up your trigger warnings. For all thrillers, I feel like I should tell you to search up your trigger warnings. You should know, but especially this. Like, it has details, so many details, but I ate it up. It felt like a long Criminal Minds episode. So I ended up rating Pretty Girls 4 stars. Definitely one of my favorite thrillers. Definitely my favorite thriller in this video, you guys. It saved the video, okay? Like I said, if you want to know exact like reactions to every single one of these, go watch that video and you will see. But they're all my ratings. They're all my thoughts. I'm definitely not going to read a thriller again for a good minute because I'm exhausted. I'm kidding. I'm going to read The Housemaid is Watching literally as soon as it comes out, which is in like 2 days. But after that, I'm going to take a break from thrillers. So 2 more books that are gonna be in videos. They're not in videos as of right now, but just you wait, they are going to be, okay? I started reading my TBR, which if you haven't seen, I made a TBR for May, which was basically me reading the books that you guys wrote. And I had a really rough month, okay? So I stopped for a second because I just couldn't read anything anymore. So I will continue and finish up that video. But essentially I read these 2 so far, which is Off the Grid by Kay Bromberg and then Never Have I Ever by Stephanie Alvis. In that video, I'm not rating the books because I feel like you guys obviously watched these and you guys wrote these and sent it to me, and I'm definitely telling you what I liked and what I didn't like about each of them and my reaction throughout everything. But I feel like rating it is just not, it's just not fair in a way because I know you're watching, you know what I mean? I can't be like, oh my god, 1 star, and then you're watching and you cry and you never speak to me again. I can't have that. I love you too much, you know? So I'm not rating the books that you guys wrote, but I am gonna tell you exact thoughts in that video. So I'm not gonna talk about too much on this. That video will be coming soon. Oh my god, the air turned on. How dare it? Hold on. I turned it off. What was I saying? Oh yeah, in that video, you guys will get exactly what I thought about each of these, but I'll tell you what they're about. Never Have I Ever follows Rosalie and Grayson, and she is like the goodest of girls. And one day they're at a party and she's playing a Never Have I Ever game and she realizes she has never done anything. So she tasks the bad boy in the college to help her do things she has never done. Yeah, fun. Good girl, bad boy. A little bit of like, I don't want to say fake dating because it's not fake dating, but like teaching in a way, like teaching how to do things. Good girl, bad boy. I'll leave you with that. And it is dual POV, so is Off the Grid. This one is an F1 book. This is definitely my first F1 book that is not the Dirty Air series, so I do want to start reading more F1 romances. I feel like there are more out there now. It follows Spencer Riggs and Camila, and he is basically trying to get to F1 and become the racer he knows he can be, and she starts working for his team as like the PR person, I think. HR? That's not what it's called. PR? The person that takes care of the team and like their reputation and shit. So they start working together. So you have like a workplace dynamic, you have a sports romance, F1, all those vibes. You have a playboy guy, like turns good kind of vibe. Yeah. Like I said, this will be in a video soon. Just give me a second to finish up that video. And by finish up, I mean, I have a lot to go, but I did pause because of the month I was having, but I will be getting to it. That's why I didn't even make a TBR for June, because I'm gonna finish this first and then I will make a TBR once they're all done, because I am gonna read the books you guys sent me and that you guys wrote. So these will be in a video soon. And the last book that is going to be in a video coming up this week is Taming 7 by Khloe Walsh. I want to tell you nothing about this. I want to tell you nothing because you will see every single second of my reaction to this book. But it's Claire and Gibbsy. It's The Boys of Tommen. It's book 5. Yes, book 5. And it follows Claire, Gibbsy, dual POV. You guys have heard me talk about Boys of Tommen non-stop. You know it's my favorite series. You know I was expecting this book more than I was expecting to breathe air. That makes no sense. Let's forget I said that. But the point is, Taming 7, I read it and I vlogged it, and you're gonna see me read, hold on. You're gonna see, are you ready? Both of these in a vlog, okay? It's gonna be Taming 7 and God of War, and I'm gonna be reading both, telling you exactly what I rated it, non-spoilers, but just thoughts and vibes and what I thought. So I'm not gonna tell you anything about this. I'm gonna put it away. I'm not even gonna tell you what I rated it because you must wait. You must wait. I'm excited. I'm very excited for that video. It'll come this week, so you don't have to wait too long. The next one I read was a paperback. It's The Dixon Rule by L. Kennedy. This is one of the first books I've read in one day in so long. I haven't picked up a book and not wanted to put it down in a really long time, and I feel like this one did just that. And I read the paperback. That's how you know I was really invested, because I feel like with Kindle, it's easier for me to binge. With paperback, I have to really be just invested in the story, and I was. Okay, this is the second book. I don't know what the series is called. I don't really know what this series is called. What's it called? Briar? I don't know. The first one is The Graham Effect. It's Gigi and it's Garrett and Hannah's daughter from off campus. And this one is The Dixon Rule, which is the second one. And it follows Shane and Diana. It is dual POV, and it is enemies to lovers. It is next door roommate, forced proximity, and it is also fake dating. Shane and Diana, you will see in The Graham Effect. If you read that one, and if you want to read that one, you don't have to. They are interconnected standalones. You do not have to, but it's just fun to know the characters, you know? But anyway, you meet them there and you see that they do not get along. She's like a cheerleader and he is a hockey player, and he basically hooks up with her whole squad, and she's like, I hate you, get away from me. And then they move right next door to each other, and she needs help with something, he needs help with something, so they start fake dating. So enemies to lovers, fake dating, a bit of a slow burn, but not too much. The spice was spicy. There's a chapter in here that I was quite literally jaw to the floor. Jaw to the floor, that's how much I enjoyed it. And I am looking so forward to the next book, because I feel like I know it's gonna be like these two guys in this book and then this one other girl that we haven't met yet, but I love them already. So I just know I'm gonna enjoy that book. And I feel like I haven't seen L. Kennedy write a group dynamic before, so I'm excited. But this one was so good. I highly recommend. I really feel like you'll all enjoy it. It's funny, it's spicy, it has a bit of like deeper topics too, so do search for trigger warnings, but so good. I ended up rating it 4.25. It didn't give me the same vibe as Graham Effect. Like Graham Effect is a 5-star for me. I ate that book up. I loved it. There was no complaints. With this one, I feel like I could have gotten a bit more, like a bit more emotionally attached to the characters, but regardless, 4.25, highly recommend. The next ones I read, I really want to talk about. I'm very excited. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is the Hollow Boy series by Monty J. Let me just explain to you. These are all interconnected standalones following a friend group, okay? But you have to read it in order. You have to, because there's an overlying story. There's a story that goes throughout all of the books that you really need to read in order for you to understand. The Lies We Tell is the first book. The Lies We Tell? No, it's not. The Lies We Steal. The Lies We Steal. We don't tell them, we steal them. The Lies We Steal is the first book. This one follows Alistair and Briar. Then The Truths We Burn is the second book. It follows Rook and Sage. Then books 3 and 4 are part 1 and 2. This couple gets 2 books. That's how good they are. So it's The Blood We Crave part 1 and The Blood We Crave part 2. And it is Thatcher and Lyra. And the last one is The Oath We Give, and that follows Silas and Caroline. Caroline. Is it Caroline or Coraline? Coraline. Yeah, like the cartoon thing. Yeah. With all of that being said, I love this series. If you like the vibes of like Legacy of Gods by Rena Kent, the vibes of what is that? What is that series before Legacy of Gods by Rena Kent? Royal Elite. If you like Royal Elite, and if you like the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas, I feel like you'll love this. It's that same kind of energy. All 4 of these boys are best friends. They would do anything for each other. And then it's their story with their respective girls. Why is it so bad for me to talk today? What's going on? I usually can't talk, but what the fuck? Anyway, and all of them are spicy and dark and fun, but in the best of ways. It's like not too much on anything. It's not too spicy. It's not too dark. It's not too lovey-dovey. It's not too slow burn. You know what I mean? I feel like it has the perfect balance of everything. So I really would recommend this series. Here are all my ratings. The first one I rated 3.75. I feel like this one was a setup for the rest of the series. I feel like Alistair and Briar could have been done better. They just were setting up, is what I felt. It just didn't feel like a romance book. You know what I mean? But I still enjoyed it. So 3.75. If you read this one and you don't want to continue, trust me, continue, because the next ones get better. Then The Truths We Burn, I rated 4.5. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. I feel like it's an unpopular opinion because usually the next 2 are people's favorites, but I can't explain it. The romance in this, the love, the yearning, the spice, everything about it was perfect to me. 4.5. It just wasn't a book that gave me that same 5-star feeling that I'm going to think about nonstop until the end of time, but it definitely was close. Then Thatcher and Lyra. Hello? Thatcher and Lyra. I rated both of these 4.25 stars. I loved them. They were definitely a close second favorite of mine. Both of these are like serial killer kind of vibe. Yeah. Yeah. Does that interest you? And lastly, The Oath We Give. I rated this one 4 stars. This was definitely the sweetest of the bunch, but it was the slowest in my opinion. Like if I had to pick favorites ranking wise, it would be number 1, this one, and then number 2, these, number 3, this, and number 4, this. But I still think the series is so worth it. If you guys are looking for just a fun series you can binge and really enjoy, it would be this one in my opinion. It is dark, so search up your trigger warnings, but it's also on Kindle Unlimited. That's where I read it, but I did buy the paperbacks. You mind your business. You know what's really funny? I was just talking about this book for quite literally 10 minutes and it wasn't recording. I love that for me. What I was trying to tell you is that I read The Problem with Players by Brittany Cherry. I read this on my Kindle, and this is the second book in her series that follows 3 different sisters. The first one is The Problem with Dating. The next one is this one, which is The Problem with Players. And then the third one is coming out hopefully soon. You don't need to read them all in order if you would not like to, but I highly recommend because the first one is my favorite. This one follows Nathan and Avery. It is a second chance romance. It is kind of a sports romance kind of vibe because he did play baseball, but now he just coaches it. But there are sports involved in it nonetheless. And it is workplace, forced proximity. There's a lot of different tropes in this. I feel like the series is so good. It's all small town and it all follows sisters, like I said. So the first one is the first sister, obviously. Second one is Avery, and then the third one is gonna be Willow. And I feel like hers is gonna be my favorite book. Mark my words. Anything Brittany Cherry writes, I will read because I feel like her writing is so good. It's so emotional, but also funny. Like she writes rom-coms in a way that are humorous, but also have that sadness to it that you need, that you yearn for, you know what I mean? So anything she writes, I will read. She's one of my favorite authors. I really think you should read her, okay? I think she's not talked about enough. So by her, you should read The Mixtape, you should read The Holidays, you should read The Problem with Dating, you should read this one. I'm gonna read a series by her soon. That is the one I have right there. It literally is The Silent Waters, that series. It's The Silent Waters. It's the air between high and low. Is that what it says? The fire? The air he breathes. That's another one, sure. And then, hold on. What does that say? The gravity of us? The gravity between us? The Gravity of Us, something like that. It's 4 books and that series looks so good. I'm gonna read it soon. I've been saving it because I feel like it's gonna be my favorite. So I will read it soon though. Brittany Cherry, cannot go wrong with her. This one was a 4-star for me. I did like the first one better, but I still really enjoyed this. And then lastly, I listened to Burnout by Rebecca Genshak. This follows Knox and some other bitch. I don't know her name. What's her name? Oh my God, it's Avery, the same as the other one. Okay, Knox and Avery. I think, don't quote me on that. Don't write it down as my mom likes to say, because I'm not really sure, but I think it follows them. She's a gymnast and he's a motocross rider thing. He rides those bikes that go like, woo, and she does the, you know what I mean? Did you know I used to do gymnastics when I was little? I don't do it anymore, so that's besides the point. Anyway, I listened to this. I don't know. I don't remember a single thing. I just think she starts like helping him with his motocross. I don't really know how gymnastics helps with that. I think like because of balance and stretching. I'm not really sure, but she starts helping him and it's good girl, bad boy. And it's sports romance with both of them doing a sport, which I really liked. I remember nothing else. I think the side characters stole the show. Like I was so focused on the side characters that I didn't really care what happened to the main ones because the side ones were so interesting. And this is gonna be a series, so I feel like I will read the next ones because they'll probably be better. But it's still an enjoyable listen. If you're looking for like a quick and fun audiobook, I think this is the perfect one for that. I rated it 3 stars and I listened to it. Did I tell you I listened to it? I listened to it. Those are all of the books that I read in the month of May. Let me know what you read, what your favorite was. Let me know if you like any of the ones I talked about, if you hate some of the ones I talked about. I don't know, let's make it fun. Who cares? I love you guys so much. I hope you have such a great day. I'm sorry this is late, but you know, what are you gonna do? Suitcase was gone. There's nothing I could do. Books were not here. I guess I could have still filmed it without the books. But what fun is that? You know what I mean? I like to hold them. I like to be like, hey, I rated this 4 stars and this is why. Also, let's talk about something. I haven't had a 5-star since like, hold on. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. I haven't had a 5-star since, hold on. Oh my God. I haven't had a 5-star since Funny Story by Emily Henry. You know when I read that? I read that March. It's been 2 months since a 5-star. Oh my goodness me, we need to find some good books. We need to find some good books in June because I cannot have that. Anyway, yeah, bye. Love you so much. Forehead kiss, I can't forget.